What is up, guys, and welcome to another edition of the Market Marauder Show. Being the market, one trade at a time. Hope everybody's having a great week out there, able to lock in some profits. On this episode, going to be talking about Tesla and also the emerging AI market. So we have just recently had the first presidential debate. Election time is coming up here pretty soon. Definitely going to be looking to restructure portfolios. It's always a great time to look at different plays that are out there in the market, especially during election time, because whomever is elected, it will depend on some companies will have advantages over other companies. But in the target, we have Tesla being one of the major competitors that's come out in the EV space, as well as NVIDIA and Microsoft in some of the AI space. So let's take a look at some of the things going on with Tesla, with their robotaxi date coming up on August 8th, and what some of the Wall Street analysts are saying about Tesla and its future.
Joining us now is the aforementioned Dan Ives, managing director, of course, at Wedbush. What do you mean the recovery story has begun?
The comeback story for
Did it
Tesla.
need a comeback?
I think it did, because they had massive headwinds in China, and now we're seeing the comeback play out. Now, 2Q deliveries next week, I think that's really going to be the last of really some of the worst that we've seen in China. We're starting to see a mini recovery in China. The comeback kid story for Musk is starting with, of course, Robotaxi Day in August. I believe this is a stock that's going to have a massive run second half of the year.
What do you think has been, then, that headwind that you talked about? Is there one thing you could point to?
Look, EV demand's clearly been soft globally, but it's really about China. I mean, China was a massive tailwind for years, became a headwind, but now, Brian, you're not seeing those price cuts anymore. So you're starting to see stabilization, China demand starting to increase. And I think the stock's telling you, and we believe next week's just another sign of it, is that the worst is in the rearview mirror for Musk and Tesla.
So I agree with what Dan Ives is saying about Tesla. I think Tesla's recovery story has definitely begun. For a while there, it was kind of a rough road for Tesla. There were a lot of people who lost confidence in it. There were a lot of the Chinese EV companies that were starting to pop up and sprout and do better on the books, according to Wall Street, than Tesla has done. Now, bear in mind, Tesla is not just an EV company. It is a company that produces a lot of technologies, as they're showing with the AI front. I do agree, and I still think Robotaxi is going to be a groundbreaking day for the Tesla company as a whole. But I think they are a company that needs to be taken seriously when it comes to the AI front. With them being, Dan Ives saying this is a recovery story, I think that's true in the sense of Wall Street. So people who are just long-term Tesla bulls have always believed this was the potential for Tesla, and that it will continue to grow, just that people haven't realized its true potential. And I think with Elon Musk having his pay package approved, and then some of the other litigation things that were going on with the courts, and Elon and them moving the company, it seems to be a lot of strategic planning going on from a corporate level to really make Tesla kind of center focused and what can make them grow the best. Another thing a lot of people aren't factoring in is during the pandemic, they had to shut down a lot of their factories. So that was something that, hurt their numbers. Also, there are a lot of things going on overseas with their factories, had their factories shut down. A lot of those things have been alleviated now with their numbers. So next week, their delivery numbers are going to come out, but I don't think that's going to be the spotlight of the company. I think the spotlight is going to be the robotaxi, the technology that's out there, and who's going to be partnering with Tesla to change the company from more of just a technology company to a SaaS company, which is a software as a solution. Them changing and kind of pivoting to a software as a solution company just opens the doors or opens the floodgates for endless potential of income for the company as a whole. Kathy Woods was talking about by 2039 having at least a $2 trillion market cap. And it's kind of, you have to divide Tesla now into different categories. So they have their Optimus, they have their vehicles, they have their solar portion, which no one is really talking about. And then you also now have the robotaxi portion. So it's kind of developing into a group or clusters of companies that are all retrofitted into one company. And I think it is a rebranding essentially for Tesla. It's kind of like them coming back and saying, "Hey, we've always been here, and these are the things that we're capable of doing." And I think as soon as Wall Street gets starts to realize that there will be more, larger hedge funds putting more capital into Tesla. Now let's jump into some of the things going on with NVIDIA and Microsoft and how this AI portion or component can tie in to Tesla.
Why you continue to see and be the bullish Dan Ives that you have been for quite some time.
Look, and it speaks to our view going into the year. NASDAQ 20,000 is ultimately where I think we head. Tech stocks up another 15% because even though this has been led by Godfather of AI, Jensen, NVIDIA, the multiplier for every dollar spent on NVIDIA chip, $8 to $10 flowing through the rest of tech. Software, infrastructure, semis, and I think now consumer AI revolution with what's happening in Apple. In my opinion, it is 9 p.m. in the AI party that goes to 4 a.m. And I think this tech market, bull market's going to continue.
How long does it take to get to 4 a.m. though?
I think in our opinion, it's a 2-year tech bull market because I think the next phase, the second, third, fourth derivatives, it's about the use cases playing out. Of course, you see what's happening with Microsoft, the hyperscalers, Google, Amazon, but then next, it's going to be names like Palantir, MongoDB. I think what McDermott's doing at ServiceNow. You look at Oracle. If someone told you Dell was an AI name 6 months ago, they'd say there's no way. Look at it today. And I think it's a 1995 moment, not a 1999 moment. I think numbers go up significantly going into next year, and it speaks to our view where the bears will continue to yell in their caves about valuation with their spreadsheets, but I think this tech market continues to move higher.
You've been saying it's 95 for 2 years, Dan? How long does 1995 last?
So I think, look, and 95 ultimately becomes 96, 97.
Of course, yeah.
But the difference here is that you talk about the capex of Meta, 50 billion, what we're seeing Microsoft, 100 billion. As someone that covered tech back in the late 90s, this is not a bubble. This is not a 99 here it comes moment, which is, I think now it's about really a fourth industrial revolution. It's about that multiplier. Mm-hmm. Now it's software. And I think when you look at consumer, that's why Apple, it's going to be the renaissance of growth that starts as AI-driven super cycle from Apple. And that Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA on the enterprise side, that's where I think it's a get-out popcorn moment, in our opinion, for tech stocks still, 15% higher.
And even when you're
So there again, I think I would agree with what Dan Ives is saying. I think the AI play, all the things that NVIDIA has done as far as investing into their technology and enhancements to their technology, all the innovations that they've done, has really helped kind of solidify or show what AI is capable in the market. With the birth of companies like ChatGPT, really showing the consumer what AI is capable of, and allowing people to have hands-on kind of experience with AI, having more commercials talking about AI, incorporating it, and really all corporations really jumping into the AI push. I do believe, it's kind of early for AI because there's not really much governance behind it as far as what you can or can't do. There are companies kind of policing themselves as what to do. I do agree with Microsoft being one of the companies kind of early on partnering with ChatGPT or OpenAI to really kind of say, okay, this is going to be groundbreaking. We really want to be a part of this ecosystem and really help shape and develop what it's going to become. And then Apple, I think like 2 weeks ago, had their WWDC, which they talked about incorporating some of their version of AI into their products and devices. So really, the key players are jumping into AI. I think once those products are released to the public and everyone starts to get used to those, it's going to be kind of the industry standard. So having devices that don't have AI capabilities, I think will kind of be out of the window. But now it's going to be having meaningful experiences with AI. So it's going to be, okay, well, I have an AI assistant. Now I have, an AI planner or AI chef, or things that will help people in their day-to-day tasks, kind of make things more efficient, give them new ideas. Everyone uses AI in different ways. Companies may use it for analytics, employee data, things of that nature. People may use it, like I said again, for different recipes or creating quick projects that they want to do at home. But I think AI is here to stay and really determining, I think whoever will be the leader that will determine how AI is played out in the future. And I think whoever can get to that strategy first and correctly will be the winner. There have been some pitfalls in AI. There have been some products that have came out like Recall, Microsoft at Recall. It got taken back because people's data was being leaked. But I think if you can do it correctly and really understand, the core behind it and understand what some of the users want on their end from experience with AI, really the human interaction between AI, then I think you could be a really good company. And I do believe it is kind of like the .com boom for AI. So definitely gonna be looking at AI. There's some things that Elon has said about Tesla on the models that they use, all the data they take in from all of the real world situations, using it to improve their FSD and upgrade their FSD model. And then with the Robotaxi event that's going to be on August 8th, I think that's kind of showing the real capabilities of having all this computing power and putting it into the real world using algorithms to create the Robotaxi. So ultimately, I think AI is here to stay. I think Tesla is on the right track. I think Apple and Microsoft are on the right track. As long as they can get some of their products and services out the door in a timely fashion, as well as being concerned with the end users. So not having people's data leaked, understanding what people actually want to use AI for, and then also corporately how companies want to integrate AI into their companies and how they plan on using it. I think will go hand in hand with this AI revolution, and those players who can create those strategies and implement those products will help the future of AI grow forward. So drop a comment down below. Tell me which company do you think has the best potential to make a dent in the AR market? Is it Tesla? Is it NVIDIA? Is it Apple? Is it Microsoft? Or some other company that has been missed from this review? Make sure that thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.